You wouldn't feed someone while they're sleeping, would you? Why can't I just keep it happy? I need plants. I'm ready. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and today we're gonna talk about this beauty, the Alocasia amazonica, or the Alocasia polly. They're the same plant, except the Alocasia polly is bred to be a bit smaller, so that's a thing. Before we get started, I know some of you who follow me on this channel were like, oh my god, look, now your hair's purple. Yeah, it's purple. It's fun, huh? Yeah, sorry, totally irrelevant. Those of you who are just here for plants, I'm sorry. So this Alocasia is actually a hybrid of two different types of Alocasias. It doesn't really grow naturally, or it didn't before people made a nice hybrid of two different ones. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but I'll put them up on the screen so you'll be able to see that. But yeah, it's a hybrid between two different ones. They bred it because they really like these insane arrowhead shaped, wavy, dark, really contrasty, striking leaves. It's such a striking plant. That's why I ended up getting it originally. I just thought it was so beautiful. How could I freaking not? Like, just look at them. They're so wavy and waxy. I just think they're beautiful. And the backs are this like beautiful purple color, and you can see the green veins on them, which is super nice. I generally just really like them. Kind of bought this plant on a whim quite a while ago. It was one of my like first 10 plants, but I bought it because I was like, I need plants, and so I got it, and so far it's been fine. I've been having a pretty good time with it. A lot of people find these really fussy, and I think they are a bit more of like a medium to hard plant when it comes to houseplants. So if you're a beginner or don't feel like spending a whole lot of time thinking about plants, this probably isn't the best one for you. This one does require a bit more care, but once you know how to care for it and like what it needs, it's actually pretty easy. Totally take care of a bull. I know that's not a word, but sorry, I don't know how to talk. So it's originally native to Asia and Australia, which is contrary to the name Amazonica. Nothing to do with the Amazon. Also, they're known as African mask plants. Nothing to do with Africa. It's more that the leaves look kind of like African masks. Really, bit of a misnomer. It's from Asia and Australia, not the Amazon or Africa. So, interesting facts and stuff. Before we get into it, I just want to say, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up down below and comment on other plants that you'd like me to talk about, or really anything. Just talk to me. I like having friends. But yeah, comment down below and subscribe for more videos. Also, if you want to see pictures of my plants constantly, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting every single day and stories and all that stuff. So it's really fun. Follow me there. But yeah, let's get into it. So one of the most difficult things I think for some people is that this plant does go dormant over winter, and it can lose some or all of its leaves. That doesn't mean it's dying. It's just going into a bit of a hibernation over winter because the temperatures are cooler, it's not getting as much light. It's just taking a little break. If that does happen to you and you do lose some or all of the leaves, don't just throw it away. It's probably just having a little sleep for the winter, and will probably start beginning to grow again in spring when the temperatures rise and it's getting a bit more light. This is my second, I think, winter with this one, and I found that it lost probably 4 or 5 smaller leaves and 1 leaf about this size. It can be quite scary, I know, because you're losing leaves and you're like, why can't I just keep it happy? It's not your fault. It's just something that happens, and I know it's hard not to worry, but it should be fine. Again, this is only in the winter. It should pick up again in spring, and in summer it should start growing again, but it can take a couple months to kind of revitalize itself after it's been in hibernation. I also find that even in the spring and summer, my Alocasia has a kind of one in, one out policy. Whenever it starts to grow a new big leaf, one of the smaller, older leaves will die. I think a lot of other people experience that as well. So I think if you have an Alocasia amazonica, try not to worry if it starts losing leaves. You should only worry if it's the summer and you're losing all of the leaves. That means that you're not giving it the light, water, humidity, temperature, whatever that it needs. When it comes to water, Alocasia amazonica or Alocasia poly really likes to be moist. Really quite moist, but not soggy. You don't want the roots to be sitting in water all the time because then they'll get root rot and it'll die. And really, we don't want that because we want to keep our plants alive. So well draining is really important. You want to make sure that you're not letting it sit after you've watered it just in a puddle of water because that won't go over well. They're also extremely not drought tolerant. So if you're the kind of person who likes to forget about watering plants, not likes, but forgets about watering their plants or skips things or is just too busy to water your plants regularly, this probably isn't the right plant for you, and that's totally okay. There are other plants that you can find, but this one probably isn't the best. If you skip too many waterings, they're gonna get really upset, lose all their leaves, and die, which kind of sucks. So I think I water this one probably about once a week in the spring and summer, maybe even a little bit more depending how hot and dry it is, and a lot less in winter, probably about every 2 to 3 weeks, especially if this plant goes into a proper dormancy where it has no foliage at all. You want to water quite infrequently, like only when the soil is about half dry, as opposed to the top inch of it being dry in the summer and spring. If you're getting brown tips on your Alocasia amazonica, it probably means that it's not getting enough water, so give it more water. Problem solved. When it comes to light, these guys really like bright indirect light. They can tolerate medium light, but they don't like it as much as really bright indirect light. Filtered light is okay as well if you've got a sort of sheer curtain. That'll do the job. But they really don't like direct sunlight because it'll burn their leaves. A little bit of morning sunlight is okay, but not like all day. Also, if you put them in a place that's too dark, they'll probably start going a bit more dormant as well. So don't do that. I think the best place for them is quite close to a north or east facing window. It's not going to be direct light and it'll be pretty constant throughout the day. Currently I have mine about 3 or 4 meters from a southwest facing window. It's probably not the best spot for it right now, but I have it in that space for a couple other reasons. I think the best spot that I've had it in since I've had it is probably being about 1 meter away from a northeast facing window. That's when it was growing the most, popping out the most amount of new leaves, and it really liked that. I think come spring and summer, I'm gonna do a big plant rearranging, and I'll probably bring you all along with me on that, but I'll do a big plant rearranging and put it back in its spring and summer home. Yeah, this one has a spring and summer home. It's a bit bougie, eh? When it comes to temperature, the Alocasia amazonica really likes it to be quite warm. They're from quite a tropical place, so they really aren't resistant to cold. The temperatures it likes best is probably 18 to 30 degrees Celsius or 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. If it drops below 15 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to be really unhappy and it could send it into dormancy. That's probably why it goes into more dormancy in the winter, because it gets quite a lot colder. Really do try and keep it in quite a warm place. That's what it prefers, and that's how it'll keep growing its best. Also, try not to put it too close to a heater or vents or places that are gonna have drafts, so open windows probably are the best. It doesn't like drastic changes in temperature. Try and keep it pretty consistent, mid to warm temps. Also, because it's originally from the jungle, it really loves humidity. Humidity is super important. They really like quite high humidity, like 50% or more. So the best thing you can do to keep it happy humidity-wise is probably to get a humidifier. But that being said, I don't have one and it's okay. I think my house is fairly humid as it is, but I do a few things to give this one extra humidity. I mist this one probably about every day to every other day, and it likes that. If you do mist, I know it's like not technically giving it humidity, but it's giving the air around it some moisture. So I think science says it isn't, but my brain says it is, and I like misting, so I'm gonna keep misting it. Yeah, so misting probably every day, every other day. Other things you can do to boost humidity are putting it in a pebble tray or grouping it with other plants. I kind of do both of those things. So with this one, it's in its decorative pot and in its nursery pot. So let me put this down. I kind of have it in a pebble tray. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but so I've got a bunch of rocks that live at the bottom of my pot. And I do that because it kind of acts as a makeshift pebble tray. So when I'm watering, I don't have to worry as much about pouring the water out right away. I kind of leave a little bit on the bottom. Not so much that it covers the pebbles entirely, but enough that it kind of makes it a little makeshift pebble tray for it. And I think it really likes that. So luckily this pot is big enough to do that, and it still looks fine. Yeah, so it kind of sits on top of the pebbles in there. Yeah, so I do that to increase humidity, and I also group it with a bunch of other plants. I kind of have a high humidity area just over there. It lives literally right there. It's kind of my high humidity loving plants area. It's where I keep my calatheas, my asparagus fern, phoetonias, stuff like that. So I keep them all together, and they give off humidity themselves, giving each other humidity, which is quite nice. So give your plants some friends. That will help its humidity. Also, I keep it in my kitchen living room area, which does get quite humid when I cook, which I do a lot. So you can also keep it in more of a humid room, like your kitchen or your bathroom. If they get enough light, that's a perfect place for them because they're getting more humidity throughout the day, and they like that. So those are the best options for giving this one the humidity it wants and deserves. When it comes to soil, you want to make sure that it's in a lightweight but well-draining soil. If it's not well-draining, could lead to root rot, it'll hold too much moisture, not very good. Also, it's very important that it has drainage holes at the bottom of the pot. You know me, I like the whole nursery pot in the normal pot situation because it allows the plant to drain but still look really nice. So that's what I think is the best bet for them, because they're getting the drainage they need in their pot. When it comes to repotting, they don't need repotting all that often. They grow quite slowly compared to a lot of other plants like pothos and philodendron and monstera. So you could probably end up leaving this in the same pot for years and it would be fine. You probably still should replace the soil every once in a while, maybe each year, to re-give it some new nutrients and make sure that you're giving it the best chance to thrive. Also, they're totally okay with being a little bit pot bound, so don't repot that much. When it comes to fertilizer, they like it quite a lot. In the spring and summer and autumn, they like to be fertilized probably about every 2 to 4 weeks. Definitely more often in the summer because that's when it's at its peak growing, because it's getting so much light and warmth and stuff. Really don't fertilize it all in winter, especially if it goes dormant. Just don't. There's no need to. If you don't have any foliage, it's just taking a nap. You wouldn't feed someone while they're sleeping, would you? No. You wouldn't. That'd be weird. Just don't do it. I personally fertilize with a half strength of Miracle-Gro. I do that just so it's not too intense on my plant's roots. Finally, when it comes to toxicity, this guy is toxic to cats and dogs and people. So don't let anyone or anything eat your plants because it won't be happy. It will get intense mouth, throat, stomach irritation. Could vomit, that wouldn't be very fun. Probably doesn't taste very good, so don't eat your plants and you should be fine. Yeah, so that's it. That's all you need to know in order to take care of your very own Alocasia amazonica or Alocasia polly. They really are such an amazing plant, and once you get the conditions right, they really just thrive. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do like this video, please do give me a thumbs up down below. Comment on other plants or planty things that you want me to make a video about, and I will do my best to get those all to you eventually. And subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! So the best thing you can do to keep it happy